we were looking at all the different various topics that we could talk about today, and Bob just couldn't get past this one episode topic because he likes to say the word.
Oh,
So
no. It's such a, can I say it? Can I
say
say
it.
it?
Say it.
So, and it's not related. There's a TV show that came out. So I've been thinking about FUBAR before I was aware of the TV show by the same name. So this has nothing to do with the TV show. But just FUBAR, FUBAR. Does anyone know what it means? I'm looking for someone to react. I know what it means, but what's it an acronym for? And be kind in the comments. I don't know. We don't want the critics to do something nasty to us or the reviewers. Anyone? Rhiannon? No one's. There you go. Thank you. And nicely played. Nicely played. Effed up beyond all recognition. And we wanted to bring. So I forgot that. I think FUBAR, when I didn't do research on it, but I think it came out of World War II. Maybe before that, but I remember like Marines and things like that in the Pacific Ocean and the theater there. We're talking about that, and a plane coming back from combat being FUBAR'd and things. And so Josh and I,
Mostly Bob.
and I have my daughter picking at me. So everyone, so we thought about applying this to that notion to Agile context. So, for example, and then we're going to get into it. When to declare that something is FUBAR? When to determine if I'm FUBAR, and how to un-fubar myself. I actually think that's a pretty interesting sort of little thread that we could pull on. And then and there's more, and please give us comments or put it in the comments. And then when to declare to determine if a company is FUBAR. And when Josh and I were talking this morning, we were using Twitter. I know I'm a little biased, but Silicon Valley Bank and Twitter as examples of, FUBAR. I'm sure there was a FUBAR. I'm sure there was FUBAR in the air at Silicon Valley Bank before. So
it's like a little FUBARs floating around.
What's that? Well, yeah, exactly. What was that?
What's that smell?
It smells like FUBAR.
Yeah, a thing I thought about is that a lot of people struggle with is when to declare, or can you declare a product FUBAR? And the whole rewrite realm that comes in. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff around that.
That's a good one. You know what, Josh? So I entered the workplace in the early 80s, like 1980.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember
I was
first.
5.
You were not 5, but
I was 5
in 1980.
Yeah.
Oh God, that makes me feel so freaking old. Where was I going? Oh, and in my first job, there was actually. So I remember people trying. I was part of teams that went into like executive rooms, boardrooms, and we presented this case to rewrite the entire application, right? I guess we were saying FUBAR at that point. I didn't, right? So they were FUBAR'd apps, right?
Yeah.
Or we were incompetent or some combination.
Yeah.
But I remember like executive heads were exploding and things like that. It's like, because we would go in with like it'll take us 22 man years. Imagine that, everyone. And that was the language, right? 20.
Yeah.
If you can invest in us for 22.85 man years, because we've done the plan, we need to reinvent the entire app. That drives 95% of our revenue.
Yeah.
Right now. But the point I was trying to make, I was just reflecting. I haven't heard a team say that in 20 years, maybe. That whole notion of we have to throw everything out. I haven't heard that at all. I heard that in the early part of my career. I was part of it. But that seemed to what. But I think there's still FUBAR apps, but maybe no one's talking about
Right.
reinventing the whole thing.
Yeah. There's I see it as a discussion topic that seldom becomes a reality. And I actually end up doing a lot of coaching with engineers or engineering leaders that believe that's the only option and everything that goes along with that. And then you start talking about the reality. And I have been that person too, just like you have early in my career. It was, the only thing we can do is to blow this up. There's no way to unpaint
Right.
ourselves out of this corner. Okay.
You know what? I think the advent of Agile, real quickly.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it. I bet the advent of Agile, not a methodology, but
Yeah.
Agile thinking. Because if I look at the time frame, so we moved from Big Bang thinking. Again, there's exceptions.
Yeah.
Big Bang thinking to incremental thinking, and I think that was maybe one of the really positive things of Agile that's been sticking.
Yeah.
So what else you got on FUBAR?
Well, I was gonna see if we could like officially like I felt like we stumbled into discussion topics.
Got it.
So
Okay.
if we want to do an official opening. Not official, but something where we like actually declare and you don't fall out of your chair laughing.
Okay.
Can you do
Would you
that?
take the?
Wait a
Could you
minute.
take it?
Everybody, Bob is really uncomfortable on the left side of the screen. Wait a minute. This has him not talking. This is all I have to do. This is the greatest discovery in the history of my life. Just put him on the left side. I, man, I'm so happy.
Put me back. I can't think and
Okay.
operate. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So
This.
let's roll. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
That's
So
my Bob.
start. Do you want to start us?
Sure, Bob. I'll start us.
I don't know what to
No,
say.
I know. Okay. I'm going to segue us in. I got you.
All right.
I got you. Bob, what's one of your favorite words that you've rediscovered of late?
FUBAR. Messed up beyond all recognition.
Yeah. You got really excited about that when we talked about this being a topic of conversation for episode 256.
Well, I'm enamored, and my daughter pointed out that I'm so proud that I know that term. So yes, I am proud of myself.
You should be.
And then I like the way it flows off the tongue. It's almost like de and toi.
No, it's not.
It for me it is.
Oh,
It has the same je ne sais quoi as
that looked like it hurt coming out.
it did hurt. So
All right.
so
So, FUBAR,
but
which,
it made me think, but a
yeah.
FUBAR
Okay. Yeah.
messed up
Yeah.
stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't feel I can say FUBAR like quietly, but that's a whole nother discussion topic. Uh, I wish my dog would say something quietly. Yeah, I'm looking at you. All right. So, what type of things get FUBAR'd that we want to address?
Let's start with people. And maybe not that extreme. I just want to start with people, not names. I don't want to name who's your FUBAR list. No, but I think people, and I want to maybe partially. I want to add it's not permanently FUBAR because that's disrespectful. So FUBAR is a very extreme term when you're applying it to people. So I don't think people get messed up beyond recognition permanently. But I do think from a self-awareness perspective, people can get near FUBAR'd. And what I mean by that, you could get stuck in a company, for example. Have you ever worked at a company, Josh, and someone's complaining about the company and complaining about the company, but they're not moving on? They're just there until
Yeah.
hell freezes over and things like that.
Yep.
So I think I'm using that as an example of someone who gets near FUBAR'd, right? That they're not looking out for themselves. Another example would be someone who's not doing self-care, the workaholic, right? In a company, not if you've never seen a workaholic, but workaholics, right? People who won't take a break, and they actually they're even more FUBAR'd when they expect people around them to act the way they are. So I think those are two examples that where people can get. And the thing is, I think the FUBAR revelation is it gets their attention because they're not looking, they're not being reflective, right? So it's like you need to take this seriously. Like I think that the use of the term requires like a strong look in the mirror and say, "Oh my God," like we were talking about, the app is broken. It's not functional. It's at like a level of clarity. Not to fail then, not to revel in the FUBAR, but then to get unfubared, I think.